Hey guys, what is up? B here. Today I'm making another Mindset Mania video, which means I'm gonna share something that helps my mindset keep on track and help me progress on my goals. This video is gonna be all about something that I call compounding. But most people that talk about compounding talk about money, especially Warren Buffett. He talks a lot about stocks and how compounding can help you to reach exponential wealth. I'm here to talk about how you can reach exponential intelligence and achievements. Without further ado, let's get started with the video. So, what is compounding and why do you talk about it in finance? Well, you talk about it in finance because a lot of stocks grow and you can compound your wealth when you invest in stocks. So what happens is you put in like 50,000 in a stock and then it grows with a little percentage each year. It might go up and down, but I think there's like an average growth rate of like 8%. And that happens like every year and it just keeps on growing and then it becomes like an exponential curve. So in the end, you might have 5 million instead of 50,000 if you've kept your money in that fund for like 25 years or so. I mean, it might take more years. I'm just giving you an example of what compounding is in the finance game. Now, what I mean when I say intellectual and achievement compounding, I mean that you do little percentage things each day that compound during the years, which will bring you exponential intellect or exponential achievements. And what I mean by that is most people work 9 to 5 and they do their thing, and then after that, between those hours they work and everything around that is just chill time. Now, some people may have time to chill, some may not. People have kids and stuff, and there's all of these other variables involved. But if you can, use these other hours to work on your intellect or your achievements. Why should you use this other time to work on your intellect or achievements? Well, if you have large goals or want to change where you are, get from point A to point B, and you're working 9 to 5 right now, chances are it just might not cut it. You have to work on yourself outside that time to make sure that you actually make progress towards point B, which is where you want to be headed. So let's say instead of just working 9 to 5, you start working on yourself 5 to 8 as well. So 9 to 5, you work on your job or your school or whatever, and then 5 to 8, you work on yourself. You work on your intellect or you work on your achievements that you got, the progress that you need to make in the projects that you have. Now, what happens in the day when you do that is not a lot, because 3 hours more doesn't make a difference in a day. But if you do that every day for a month, then you've worked 3 hours a day extra every day for 30 days, assuming that you work 3 hours extra on weekends as well. So what does this mean? Well, let's do the arithmetic. You've worked 90 hours, 3 times 30, 90 hours more than the general or average person in a month. Now imagine that you do that 12 months, which means a year. That's a whole lot more. In fact, you've then worked 1,080 hours, if my arithmetic is correct, just got it out of my head, but 1,080 hours more a year, just because you put 3 more hours each day. Okay, so 1,080 hours more each year just because you've worked on yourself 3 hours more each day. That's a whole lot of hours. Let's make this example even easier to grasp. Let's say you read a book these 3 hours each day, okay? And the average book takes 10 hours to read. Sure, you got 1,080 more hours per year extra just because you put these 3 hours down. That means that you could have read 108 more books than you actually read on a normal basis because you put these 3 hours more. 108 books. Imagine how much knowledge you can get from these books during just 1 year. All of this information and all of these books can actually change your mind and take your mind to the next level and teach you things you've never known. Things that can help you get that promotion, fix your relationship, everything. I mean, psychology, finance, mathematics, programming, whatever subject you take on, whatever you want to read on, can develop you and give you knowledge that can take you to the next point in your life and move you along the line of going from point A to point B. And the funny thing is, the more you know, the more you can associate to. So let's say that you know about how finance works, okay? And then you want to learn a little bit about programming. And then there's something in programming that works kind of the same way that something works in finance. Now you can associate those two things and you can easily grasp more logical concepts because you know more about a previous subject. This is what I call intellectual compounding. You just keep adding a little bit each day to your intellect by reading and taking in knowledge, and then you get more reference points to evolve your knowledge upon. So not only do you raise all these hours a year to work on yourself and your intellect, you also get an easier time to learn because you get more reference points on how things work. And the same thing goes for achievements. If you work on a project 3 hours every day and just keep working on it, keep working on it, keep working on it, eventually something's gonna happen. Now, it might flop if you have a bad strategy, but you're probably gonna learn something from it, and then you're gonna make a new project, and you've learned whatever lesson you got from the first project, and you took that lesson into the new project, and then you start working on that achievement, and you just keep working, and that's how people get to these amazing achievement levels and achieve massive success. Keep this idea in mind the next time you want to skip the gym, the next time you want to stop studying, the next time you don't want to do it, you want to procrastinate, or you want to put it off until tomorrow. Just think, every day counts, and every little hour that you put in every day can sum up to a whole lot of more hours each year. And in the span of 10 years, who knows, you can have transformed yourself to a completely different person if you do this for a consecutive 10 years. And of course, this requires a lot of persistence, and it's all based on you. How bad do you want it? Decide, and then decide how much am I willing to put on each day. It could be just an hour extra. An hour extra does a lot each day. And if you do that consecutively and persistently for 10 years, you will have made progress. So this kind of compounding is what drives me to take my mind and my achievements to next level. I hope it helps you and drives you to next levels. If it does, make sure to leave a comment below. If you think that, this theory doesn't quite add to all the perspectives of life, make sure to comment below. I'd love to discuss it with you. I'm here to learn as well as you might be here to learn. So just leave me a comment or a DM and we'll take up the discussion and let's learn something. Remember, this is just something that drives me, and I'm hoping that some of you out there are going to use this concept and help it drive you to the next level. That's it for this Mindset Mania video. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like below. And if you enjoy my content, do subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next week. But until then, stay driven.